Hello! In this video we are going to take a look at what a pointer is and how to use them correctly. Before we dive directly to what they are, we first need to understand how a computer works at the lowest of levels, the CPU and RAM. To begin with, the CPU is called Central Processing Unit because it controls everything that happens within the computer. The RAM, Random Access Memory, it's a kind of memory that stores variables and code that the CPU can access and execute. It is composed of millions of cells, bytes, each one containing a value. There is a bus that connects both the CPU and RAM that carries address and data. In order to access one of these cells, the CPU needs to provide what cells it wants, where is it located on memory. That is called memory addressing. An address is just a number that represents how many cells far is the cell we want to access from the first cell. The first cell will be at address 0, and the fifth cell will be at address 4. Now that we know how the CPU accesses bytes in the RAM, we can take a look at what a pointer is. A pointer is just a variable stored in memory that contains the address of another variable. As simple as that. Just kidding, it's much more than that. To illustrate this, we are going to take our favorite IDE and see an example. Here we have a variable called a. This variable is type int, integer, so it's 4 bytes wide. We can get a pointer to it with the ampersand operator and store it on a variable. We don't care where the variable is, as long as the pointer points to the same variable every time, so normally we don't need to modify the pointer. Normally, we use the ampersand operator to pass references to functions, to be able to modify that variable from the function like this. Then we have the asterisk operator that is used to read and write data from the location that the pointer is pointing to, like this. Like we already have written here. We are assigning 13 to the variable t that we have passed to the function. T is really pointing to a here. We can also create a pointer without referencing an existing variable, where its location is provided to us by an allocating function, like malloc in C and the new keyword in C++. That functions tell the operating system to reserve that memory space to the variable. We can also get an allocated space with the constructor of a class, but we aren't going to see that in this video because classes are really complex. That is mostly for incomplete types. Another use of the pointer is on classic arrays. The idea of array is not really a thing in C++. What we call array is actually a number of variables, one after another, stored in memory starting from a point. An array in C++ is a pointer to that first variable. We can use the index operator on the pointer to access the elements of the array. In this case, every element is type int, integer, so every unit of index is 4 bytes. Okay, so far so good. We have covered the absolute basics of pointers. In the next episode, we are going to take a look to segmentation faults, memory leaks, and smart pointers. Stay creative, and I will see you next time.